Pro Basketball is live. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Kindly hit that subscribe button. Leave the like on the videos if you're enjoying these basketball videos on the Pro channel. My name is Limo. Today I'm joined by Teddy and George to do some interesting analysis. The Pro review is back for the first time this season. An interesting game went down. In fact, two interesting games went down in a 14-game slate in the NBA. But first of all, we'll have to give props to the king himself, LeBron James, reaching the 39,000 points mark in the NBA, the first ever player to do so. He break the record where he start opening the gap inside. So we say, no, Charlie, the scoring there, he's really taking it to another level. And we've not been regarding LeBron as a scorer, but he's reminding us why he should be in that conversation. And LeBron James reaching 39,000 points in the NBA is one big of a feat. Now, going to today's agenda, two big games in the NBA. We'll be starting off with the battle of the heavyweights in the East. We anticipated a very tight one, and it was a tight one in the final few minutes of the game. At the start of the game, it wasn't that tight. Number 1 seed versus number 2 seed. The Boston Celtics took on the Milwaukee Bucks, and what a game that was. I'll be starting with Teddy for this one, as the Celtics took the victory in that one. Were you impressed with your Celtics and how they started the game?
Very impressed. I was happy about how Jaylen Brown just set the tone for the game, because when we started, I think he shot 2 threes in a row, and it was amazing, and that's all we needed, because with the Bucks, with the way they are defending, you need to start early. Because if you allow them to block you and to put your guard down, you bring your guard down, they're going to destroy you emotionally. So we needed those first buckets. That's what we needed, and Jaylen Brown just set the pace for us. And in one of our reviews, I said that I needed the Celtics to be shooting more, and that's what they did. Shoot from the 3-point line.
Almost everybody was
shoot from the 3-point line. I said Lopez would be in the drop, and he was in the drop. Giannis will be helping him in the paint, and he was. There was no way. And when they change up, you see Bobby playing the 4 and then Giannis in the 5. There's no way you're going to get an easy.
There's no way you're going to lineup.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to get an easy 2 with those two players.
That's going to the rim.
You have to shoot, and they did an amazing job shooting. And I like their shot selection, because when you know you will not be able to make it, you are passing to the open guy, and it was amazing. And there's one problem I have with Giannis, his shot selection. We understand that there was this slander where they said he doesn't have a bag. He's a run and dunk guy. And all of that. And we understand for the past 2 seasons, he has been adding more to his repertoire. But then in this game, you have Dame. There's no way you should be shooting mid-ranges, fadeaways, shooting from 3 when Dame is standing there. It's not necessary. That it was so not necessary. It's so not necessary, and it really cost them in the game, because when every time we had the defensive rebounds, we were on the fast break and we went for the
interesting game that turned out to be. Now, George, in the NBA, sometimes there's this big cliche that it's a make or miss league. But in this game, in that first half, it felt like it was a make or miss league. The Celtics just made their shots. The Bucks had some good shot selection, but weren't able to make their shots. What do you make of that?
So you see, profiling both teams, you look at Bucks. Before the start of the season, acquiring them, we thought maybe he would fit in so well, like as soon as possible to get everything rolling. But we needed to give him time. We needed to let him gel up with Giannis, get that chemistry. Before the game against Celtics, they had some 5 games they played. They had a winning streak. That chemistry was out there. But the problem with the backside is how they defend. Losing a player like Jrue Holiday, who sets the tone on defense. Now, looking into the game, when you are playing a Celtics side that has an offense so organized, you talk about their spacing, you talk about their ball movements, you talk about how they spread the floor, kicking the ball to their shooters, absolutely class. You look at the Mazzulla system of offense, that's so beautiful. So when you are facing this team, you have to make sure you get back quick on transition, settle down.
That's where the Bucks struggle.
And that's their problem this season. And I don't see that. I don't understand why it's their problem, because you look at their head coach, Adrian Griffin, you look at his prowess on how to defend so well. So their transition defense is a question. Get back quickly, settle down, be organized, know where to be, know who to guard, and you look at the backside. I knew it was going to be a score, and I score. But then, props to Celtics defense as well for holding Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because with Giannis, he functions well in the paint. You cannot try to maybe put him off that he will not get dominance in the paint, but you can limit him. And you give props to the Celtics interior defense. They limited him. As for the perimeter, Jrue Holiday and White, they are doing an absolutely good job. With Damian Lillard too, I think it will take time for he to fit in well to get his game time. Questions out there that the watch he's using is it classy or G-Shock? But I think it will take time for he to get a class.
One thing I'll say I was impressed with the Celtics was one player who had received a lot of criticism last season because of the way he handled the ball and he wasn't able to be good with playmaking. Jaylen Brown. His 2-man game with Porzingis. Excellent. Yesterday, 8 assists. He was dishing the ball out, not too selfish as sometimes he is. Even with his left, you could see he was taking his time finding his teammates, and it was impressive to see of Jaylen Brown. Now, for the backside of things, we knew they lost something on defense, but it was too glaring today. Too glaring. We saw Middleton on Jason Tatum, and it was looking like a mismatch the whole time. Tatum with his big body frame, backing him down. It was only on Middleton that Tatum was able to get to the basket or able to shoot his mid-range shot. So Middleton there, and offensively, he looks sluggish to me. Middleton will have to step up big for the Bucks if they are looking to become a very strong contender this year.
With the Bucks, you look at their 2021 run. It was their defense that won everything. Looking at PJ Tucker, looking at Joe Holiday, PJ Tucker was on main men of the opposition teams.
The best player.
You look at the backside this season. Losing Drew Holiday, we all were like, even after losing Drew Holiday, they're falling off slightly on defense. But looking at what they are playing right now, I think they need to get a defensive identity. They need to. The coach needs to sit down.
I saw one of their fans pitch an idea where if they get maybe an Alex Caruso in their lineup, that would be brilliant. Because Caruso brings that energy on defense, and he could do what. Teddy, I'll finish with you on the Bucks and Celtics because there was one problem for the Celtics. Inability to close, and that one we saw it last year. And this game, we saw the situation where the Bucks looked like they were creeping in the whole time, where the Celtics were not able to hold them in the final few minutes. Dame almost equalized in the game, and it was very interesting. What do you make of that whole situation?
I said before that this game Tatum needed to be clutch, and I think in the final minutes, all our players were waiting for Tatum to be hot because most of the balls were going to him. He was shooting and he wasn't making. And we don't have any closer on our team except Tatum. So if Tatum is not being clutch, we won't win. And I was so happy on how he was able to get free throws at the end to be able to close the game. Because if not, we would have lost the game completely.
And you see, this Celtics side, this is the team to win a championship. If they don't get the championship this season, then it's over. Because we gave them so much advantages. Even we use their track records. You look at 2020 Finals MVP, All-Star Finals MVP LeBron. He went ahead to win the chip. 2021, Giannis did the same. 2022, Stephen Curry. Last year, we said Jason Tatum.
We expected it to be JT, but
this year, too, we are giving them that kind of advantage. And it's so clear. If they don't get it with the team that they have, Charlie, then...
And one problem I want to highlight on with the Bucks team, the pick and roll is one of the most traditional offensive weapons in the NBA. It's so traditional. It doesn't look efficient, but then it works. I don't understand why Giannis and Dame are not running the pick and roll. Because
you look at their past 5 matches. It was they were building that kind of pick and rolls. But I think we have to give them time for them to understand themselves very well, because the teams they faced before they faced the Celtics
they weren't good teams.
But if they face big teams, we'll judge them when they face the big super teams.
Well, that is only the tip of the iceberg, and just a slight taste of the cake that is coming this year in the East. The battle of the heavyweight, Celtics taking on the Bucks, with the Celtics taking the victory the first time for this year, the first time they are meeting. Now let's switch over to the Western Conference, where another big game went down. It feels like we're talking about the Golden State Warriors every single time, but they are always in the news. They are always having problems. This time they went to Phoenix, faced Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in what was a tightly contested matchup from the start. The Warriors looked like they were going to give them a problem, but it didn't look like that when the game kept on going. Chris Paul going back to Phoenix. We saw KD playing his Warriors again, but Chris Paul in a chaotic situation with Scott Foster. It feels like that they've built that kind of misunderstanding for a very long time in the league. So, George, I'll start with you on this one. The Warriors started very well. In fact, their starting lineup, Klay Thompson, the man they've been bashing the whole time, was the man who was efficient for them this year. But what do you make of the Warriors' loss this time?
You see, let's be honest with ourselves. The Warriors starting 5, they are not it. It's.
But this is not the ideal starting 5 though. Without Draymond Green.
Relax. I'm looking at the starting 5 against the Phoenix Suns. It wasn't working out. On offense, you give credit because they started so well. Klay Thompson had 23. This is the second game. This is the game that he scored more in the league this season. Now you question them on defense. We all know how the zone defense works. When you are playing the zone, where the ball is, when you are playing the zone defense and the ball is at the strong side, you the defender at the weak side, you are not supposed to leave the opponents who is at the corner. You are not supposed to give him that kind of space. Now you look at the Warriors wing playing the weak side on the right side. When Phoenix Suns are coming up with the ball and they switch the ball to the right end, you have the wing at the right side of the Warriors so much focus on where the ball is, leaving the player at the right side so free, and they left Eric Gordon there.
And they almost found him. Yeah,
Eric Gordon is one of the finest catch and shoot three guys. So when you leave him out there, bang, 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 and he's going to score.
He punished
so, but you see, I like what Steve Kerr did. It got to some points, he dropped all the starting five, put the bench out there, give them the adjustment that you have to, he plays Moody on Devin Booker, and they limited Devin Booker. He was not facilitating, and they were coming into the game. So he felt like, okay, thanks for reducing the gap. Then he brought his main starters, Wiggins, Clay, and Curry to come and finish the game. And then when they came, they were a liability on defense. So I feel like with the Warriors side, Draymond Green always they worry them. If Draymond Green had played, because he's that guy who sets the tone for them on defense as well. So I don't see them as contenders again. They're having a poor start to the season.
It's an early start to the season, but the Warriors have had their fair share of ejections, suspensions, Draymond Green out, now Chris Paul being out. Now for the Phoenix Suns, we know they don't have a primary point guard in the team, so everything kind of runs to Durant and Booker. And for the past 3 games, we've seen Durant kind of average over 8+ assists, and for Devin Booker also be kind of the main facilitator, as George was saying. Now with the Phoenix Suns team, without that primary ball handler, do you think they'll still be able to get the job done against some quality teams in the NBA?
No, they still need someone to facilitate for them, because always Booker needs to get in his spots. You give him the ball and he cooks. That's his game. And then this Eubanks and then Nekic experiment they are doing is not working. They average 11 rebounds together, which is so bad. Imagine they are meeting a team like Giannis with the Bucks, Giannis and Lopez,
or probably even the Timberwolves.
Even the Timberwolves, they are going to completely obliterate them.
But they beat the Timberwolves too.
No, it's early days. But you see, the Timberwolves are on fire. But then all I'm saying is, Nekic is not it. He's good on offense sometimes, but on defense he's trash. Even Eubanks, even on defense, he's trash. They need someone to be good on defense for them, because we all know Devin Booker isn't that good on defense. Gordon is not that good on defense now, because he's now old. Maybe Grayson Allen. But then you need a rim protector. They lost that when they allowed Dominating to go. That's his name now. Dominating to leave. So they need to bring in someone who will be protecting their rim, because this Eubanks and then the Nekic thing is not working. It's not working.
Now in some of these big games, it's sometimes the role players that can kind of make the difference. And one role player I was really impressed with, Nasir Little, on the defensive end. He was physical. At some point in time, the Warriors, when they brought in that second unit, Nasir Little was physical on defense, giving them something to kind of lean on
almost
defense,
won the game.
And he was very, very good. Kevin Durant, special as always. Steph Curry and co shooting woes for the Golden State Warriors, but that's how things ended at the Phoenix Suns side of things, as they now go 2-0 on the Warriors. The Warriors just can't seem to get it right, as they've lost once again. And now the Timberwolves are number 1 in the NBA and the Thunder are number 2 in the West. So it's very, very interesting how things are going down, but really, really good games. The Bucks versus Celtics. It showed us how things are kind of shaping up in the East, where the Celtics are number 1 and the Bucks are number 2. So we'll still keep it at that, and we'll see how the league goes on from there. That's how we'll be closing on with this one. Jordan Teddy with some amazing analysis. Jordan, they tell me say you get bow.
Yeah,
or right now you ran.
Yeah. No, I get back. Okay, so then I do my barber shop we.
Every day you barber shop.
I do my barber shop we. Show them pull up in an MB jersey. What tell I say today? I do my clippers to do work. We told me say make I use the 6S give on.
You understand what I'm saying? He gave this one before. No, I don't give this one before.
So make I give another one.
Last chance.
You see my hood there, I carry my party become there. For the test sheet, the way I take them comments. We tell me say, bro, heat day here. I tell him, say, bro, you did mommy.
Charlie, that's how we close this one. George, horrible basketball. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Pro Basketball. It's out.